At first glance, this deck looks clean and simple, but it actually holds two marking systems most people will never notice. Today we're going to be checking out the Canis Lupus Beta Edition by the Card Mechanic. This is the second edition of the Canis Lupus series, and I'm super excited to be diving into this deck because I've been following the Card Mechanic's work for years. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to check out or pick up a deck after the video. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the tug box, the front has a wolf howling at the blood moon. I like how they made the shadows on the moon red to signify that it is indeed a blood moon. Also, the blacks on the tug box have speckles of red and gray and white, so it's not a solid black. This goes throughout the whole tug box and also the back design. The sides continue the image from the front, and the bottom has two wolves on the sides and info of the cards and printers. And on the top of the tug box, it also continues the image from the front, and on the seal, it has a Canis Lupus wolf on it. On the back of the tug box, it features the back design, but I'll talk more about it once we start talking about the playing cards. My first impressions of the tug box was that it feels super solid. Sometimes with like tug boxes, they feel super thin and like flimsy, so you know they're not gonna hold over time. This one though feels premium and uses a thicker cardboard so that it's more durable. Overall, I have no complaints on the tug box, and I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. Now, let's move on to the playing cards. We're gonna be starting off with the pips and indices. For the most part, they kept them pretty standard with a little twist. In every card, there's going to be one pip that either has black speckles for the diamonds and hearts or red speckles for the clubs and spades. This means the face cards aren't a two-way design. You can hardly see it though for the spades and clubs, so if you're not actively looking for it, you probably won't notice it. The red on the diamonds and hearts is going to be this deeper red, and I really like this red. It looks so much nicer than the standard red in my opinion, and it fits the overall aesthetic of the playing cards. Keeping it standard as possible, make sure that this deck can be used by anyone, be it magicians, cardists, or just people hosting game nights. With this versatility, I'll give the pips and indices a 9.5 out of 10. On to the court cards. They kept the same concept for the courts as what they did with the pips and indices. They kept it simple, but still included little changes to represent the wolf and blood moon theme. The courts on the spades are going to feature claw marks and scratches. You'll notice them on their cheeks. It's nothing crazy, but a little does go a long way. The diamonds have wolf fangs on their clothing. Personally, I would prefer if they used the wolf fangs on their teeth, but that's just me. The clubs, instead of wolf fangs, have the paw prints on their clothes, and for the hearts, it is a blood moon. Going back to the pips, the speckles also get included in here. One of the pips are gonna have specks on them. It's simple, but the details are there. I'll give the courts an 8.5 out of 10. Let's move on to the aces and jokers. The aces aren't gonna have any crazy designs besides the spades, of course. The ace of spades has a wolf inside there, and I think it's really cool how they were able to implement the wolf into the spades. It has red outlines on its fur and features little specks of red inside the big ace. The little ones this time are left alone. The following aces are a little lackluster. The diamonds has a wolf fang, the clubs feature the wolf paw, and the heart has a blood moon. I know they've been keeping things a little simple, but I feel like they could have gotten a little more creative on the aces. Granted, for everything that these cards are going to be used for, it's not going to be an issue. It's more of my inner collector talking. Both jokers are going to be identical and feature the Canis Lupus on both of them. The extra ad card is a double backer that magicians can use for some cool magic tricks. Overall, I think most people aren't going to have issues with the aces. Most of them are going to like them. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me on the aces. For the aces and jokers, I am going to give them an 8 out of 10. Now for the back design. The back design for this deck is going to be the same one that you saw earlier on the tug box. At first, you might think that it's a two-way design, but it is actually a one-way design, and it actually has two different marking systems, which I think is really cool. One is to see which way a deck is oriented, and the second one is actually a color system. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to see where the difference was. If you look in the middle of the deck, you can see that where the two wolves meet, there's a slight difference in the fur when it starts merging into the other wolf. My fiance actually got this under a minute, and for me it took a while, so I didn't notice this until like way in when I started making like the video and everything like that, and everything just went like For the color system, there's going to be a specific white dot on the moon. If the face cards are either a heart or diamonds, there's going to be a white spot on this section of the moon. If it is a spade or club, there isn't going to be a white spot there. I never really paid attention to marking systems since I generally don't do magic, but it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's kind of making me feel like I'm able to do a magic trick or two. I really like this back design, and everything goes well together nicely. I'm gonna give this back design a 10 out of 10. So how does this deck feel and handle? This deck is printed on Room 1's Elite stock, so it's gonna be 300 GSM and it's going to be similar to bicycle playing cards. The cards feel rigid and snappy, so it's going to be good for aerials and packet cuts. The cards themselves have this velvety finish, and they're super smooth but aren't slippery. Honestly, I really like this stock and finish, and I've been testing it out against a bicycle deck, and I can tell some differences. For one, the edges aren't as rough, and for the other one, with this velvety finish, it makes you feel like you have more control of the cards because they just sticks to your hands more. So I don't know if that's just me or if it's the playing cards. Let me know in the comment down below if you share my thoughts on this. I was never able to test out a Room 1 deck because I never bought one of their decks, but I can 100% say that I wasn't disappointed. I would give this stock and finish a 9 out of 10. So who is this deck for, and would I recommend it? Honestly, this deck is for everybody. Magicians will like the marking systems, and as a complete beginner to Magic, the marking system was really easy to figure out. It makes me feel like I can do a couple tricks, so I think that's pretty cool. Cardists will appreciate the stock and the finish, and I can see this being a really good worker deck. Collectors will enjoy the cohesive theme. It can even be a premium playing cards for game nights. This is definitely a buy now deck in my opinion. Overall, I would give this deck a 9 out of 10. If you want to grab the deck for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. I'm still doing giveaways, so comment down below of which part of the deck was your favorite. Also, tell me what other decks you would like for me to check out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more playing card content. My name is Ivan Rome, and thank you for watching my video. Peace out.